Okay, everybody, we are back. The Heroes International loser bracket round 2 is about to start. We got washed up against Ammonite. I'm here with Fan. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Khaldor. I'm looking forward to this. This is washed up. You know, I bet they are pretty upset about their games yesterday. They're looking for revenge, and Ammonite looking pretty dominant in their round 1 today against Pez. So looking forward to this game.
Yeah, I'm kind of hyped for it. Both of the teams looked really good here. As you said, Washed Up wasn't quite happy with their loss there. Ammonite, of course, they promised after ending up in the loser bracket that they would step up their game, and they definitely did do so against against Pez. But now they go up against the first seed from Europe. So this should be a spicy one.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And the first seed from Europe is going to be most likely a very different beast from Pez. So hope Ammonite is prepared.
We got Battlefield of Eternity coming up as our first map in the best of 5. I was desperately looking for some European flags, but the only thing that I could find are NA flags. They're all around. We got a lot of supporters here, the USA chants. The closest that I came was this, so I think that counts. That counts as a European flag, doesn't it?
Close enough. I mean, that's basically what all the Europeans are spamming in chat, probably. So
it's the only thing that I could find for the day.
Counts.
Right. We might grab something for tomorrow, but for the day we have to do with that. But for now, we got Europe going up against Korea. We have Battlefield of Eternity as our first map once that the players are ready and good to go. Apparently, Washed Up had some technical difficulties on their side, and I was just making sure that all the equipment worked. They seemed hyped. I talked to them a little bit. They seem pretty eager. They also said that they feel Ammonite definitely stepped it up a lot, so they know that they are in for a pretty rough battle, but they feel confident.
Oh yeah, and all of these teams, not just Washed Up and Ammonite, but 30K as well, all of these number 1 and 2 seeds, they go back, they study their losses, they analyze their replays, and most likely you're in for a completely new team, a completely new day of gameplay. So, looking forward to it.
Yeah, drafting is, of course, going to be super interesting again, especially with Nick on the side of Washed Up. He's always the wild card for the team. Well, and we are headed into our first game. So again, best of 5 series. It is the losers bracket here at the Heroes International Day 2. The loser will drop out of the tournament. The winner advances to the next round. And let's see which team is going to take the lead here. Battlefield 2-lane map, obviously a lot of team fighting usually that we're going to see here. And the first thing that happens is Lucio is out. And I like that already from Washed Up, because against Tempest, they kind of experiment a little bit with letting Lucio slide on 2 maps, and they got punished for it 2 times in a row. So now they're going back to their usual ban patterns, and I think that makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. The Lucio from Tempest from yesterday was absolutely the most annoying thing ever. So definitely understand Washed Up banning that away. Sergeant Hammer getting taken away on the side of Ammonite, and all the European teams have shown that they absolutely love this hero, so very understandable as well.
It's actually kind of funny how teams are now reacting very much so to the other meta. Right. Normally you're trying to just break through with your own, try to just like muscle through the opponent's idea of how to play the game. But there's respect shown on both sides now, and especially going up against them are so annoying. Nobody really wants to do that.
Absolutely.
And the scary thing also about Washed Up picking Hammer is that they have multiple players that can play the hero, so they can still be a little bit flexible in how they then round out the rest of the draft.
Right.
So good choice here. Hanzo gets eliminated, still one of the best, if not the best damage dealer against the Immortal on a Battlefield. And we get Tyrael eliminated too. Has been played as a main tank for Washed Up, and we still have to see it in this tournament, but Nick has been playing in the Masters Clash and other events in Europe. Tyrael also in this main assassin role where he goes for a damage build, tries to be aggressive, goes into judgment, and prepares kills for the team.
Absolutely. And Vala being the first pick, I like that first pick. There's 2 heroes that I feel like are really strong right now, and that's Vala and Hanzo. Both are not only good at damaging the Immortal, but they also output insane amounts of consistent damage. So definitely like that first pick from Washed Up on BOE.
Strong first pick for them. It's something that the Koreans have valued very highly. We spoke about it before. Nick is one of the players within Europe that has continuously picked her. So while most of the European teams have let Vala go lately, Washed Up still one of the teams that occasionally picks her. And this is even more so true at this specific tournament. I believe this is the 2nd or 3rd time that Nick now plays Vala. And the Koreans, they respond with something that we've now seen multiple times. The 2 of us have seen this in the Tempest series. Diablo as the first pick. This time, not with the Haka, but with Blaze. Incredibly strong front line. can bully the opponent, and Diablo in particular has been one of the MVPs of the tournament.
Absolutely, and a bit of a deja vu for Washed Up here. They were unable to counter the first rotation Diablo from Tempest yesterday, so
Yeah.
we'll have to see what kind of adaptations they made overnight as it's happening to them in the draft once again here.
Urel, on the other hand, for Dequaza on the side lane, he usually tries to go for Blaze, which got picked away here, but also strong with Urel. We had Garrosh in one of the games against Tempest. Washed Up played Garrosh and was trying to punish Diablo wherever they could and lock him down.
Right.
And in this case, Ammonite wants to shut that down right from the beginning. They want to give their front line as much freedom as they possibly can. So Garrosh gets eliminated. Try and keep him in play here. Really nice ban from them.
Right, and in that game, a major reason why Garrosh couldn't catch anyone was because of the Lucio on the other side. So
Yeah.
Lucio being unavailable, it makes sense that they want to get rid of the Garrosh even more than ever.
Sylvanas is also eliminated. We had a couple of super cool Wailing Arrows that were shutting down entire team fights. And of course, you get even more value out of an Immortal that you can pick. She's super mobile, dishes out a lot of damage in these team fights too. And especially the squishies in the backline are going to be happy about that. But do you think we're going to see something picked on the side of the blue team specifically to counter Diablo?
It looks like they're straying away from that. I wouldn't be surprised for a Tychus pick, but honestly, with Vala, if you can just get to 16, get to Manticore, that percent damage is enough almost by itself to counter Diablo. So they go with the double melee, Irel and Thrall over here with a Muradin last pick for Washed Up.
Triple melee in total. Masquerade loves to play his Muradin. In this case, we also get Thrall, so Harzop seems to be playing it. Hyde, on the other hand, with Stukov here for the red team, and Genji. And Genji is, of course, going to home in on the squishes wherever he can, especially that backline with Nick and Malfurion, if he gets access there. And this is something that the Koreans absolutely love. They love to play that gray main. He's strong against the Immortal. He's fantastic if you're trying to rip one of the frontline tanks away. Could use the bullet against Muradin here, too. Very aggressive and dangerous draft that Ammonite has now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But on the at the same time, I really like Washed Up's draft as well here. Like you said, there's a couple squishies in the back with the Vala and the Malfurion, but they have a very beefy front line. Thrall also has a ton of percent damage in addition to the Vala percent damage. So they should be able to deal with Diablo, and it's not going to be easy to dive past this front line that Washed Up has drafted.
Good Stormbolt for Masquerade, Wolf as a follow-up. There's a lot of lockdown that they have. You could see the Rain of Vengeance even coming in on Vala if they feel the need for even more stun. They can follow up on it and let Strafe go for now. But Battlefield of Eternity is going to be the first map, and I expect a wild series. I gotta admit, this is going to be pretty good. So guys, we're gonna head into game number 1 of this. We have Battlefield of Eternity coming up. It's a best of 5 series here in the losers bracket. Washed Up going up against Ammonite here. And over on the left side, we have the blue team playing with Hazops on Thrall, the Europeans with Nick on Vala. Masquerade is playing Muradin. Dequaza is playing Urel. And Banana Age on Malfurion.
Oh, yeah.
Over on the right side, the Koreans at this point with Hyde on Stukov. We got a spell on Diablo. H82 is playing Blaze. Reset on Genji. That's always scary. And Haben on Greymane.
Yeah, and one thing I want to note right from the start is we have Hyde on Stukov. Now, Stukov is a very offensive hero. That silence pool, very toxic, very good at getting kills. However, they have no cleanse on their team, so gotta keep that in mind. When you draft Stukov, you have no way to get out of CC, and Washed Up, they have a lot of CC. So if you get caught, you're gonna be in big trouble.
And assuming that Hazops is going for Sundering here, with a big flank and trying to take them down. So yeah, it's going to be super interesting if he can get that flank and get the setup for the team. A little bit of poke at the bot lane, traditional 4-1 split now that Masquerade is making a move to the bottom of the map too. The usual early poke, as Nick is also trying to get some extra stacks together for his level 1. He went for the arrow build, so after level 7 he will try to solo the Immortal whenever possible, but it all hinges on him getting stacks on the first talent that he picked here, and is already trying his best to get those as the Koreans are falling a bit farther back.
Oh yeah, and Washed Up has the stronger early game draft for sure. Diablo pretty weak early game, so you see them taking control, clearing the wave before the other team, but there might be a fight at this camp as they try to contest.
First camp at the bottom of the map. We have also the side laners rotating down. This might be the first real test here. Both teams are committing, and immediately Murden is the target. Masquerade jumping out, but here comes Duel. They're putting them into the corner.
That's all
Hyde might be
five.
in trouble. He gets out though. Hyde on the way back.
Oh,
and there's
Genji.
the first kill.
Genji's gone in.
Urel
Reset.
goes down. Genji coming in. Gets rooted. Where's the
Not
damage?
quite, not quite.
Even with Nick dropping the multi-shot, they can't get it. Ammonite winning the first fight.
H82 might be overextended, not quite.
The camp, again the root, but this time unsuccessful from Banana Age.
Wow, and the action just exploded there. Both teams bringing their offlaners into the bottom lane, and we see a 5 versus 5 at the 1:30 mark.
Not something you see a lot. Usually it's just an even exchange. One team rotates the hero over when they feel they don't have the proper setup for that fight, and then you have a trade between the two of them. But in this case, we have the camp claimed by the Korean team. Masquerade is having some problems. I'm having flashbacks to the last time we were in Miami. Masquerade. If it's this mouse again, I need some raw eggs or something that I can like throw over.
Someone's got to get Masquerade a new mouse if it's the same thing once again.
It's going to be the same thing. They're going to go for like CPR on that thing.
Looking at the game, the Korean team Ammonite here has taken a slight lead with 1 extra kill and getting the camp, but overall it's pretty even.
He's back. It's always the franchise fan.
Of course.
It's always the franchise.
Of course.
So, here we go. Actually, it's not. Dequaza's fine. It's always Masquerade for some reason. Bathrobe Boy, I don't know, maybe proper clothes would fix the issue, but either way, we're back in the game, everyone. So what happened so far is that one camp got claimed, the Korean got their first kill too. It's a bit of a lead that they have there for inexperience, as everybody has headed top lane now, and it seems that Ammonite is able to also secure the second camp.
Yeah, so definitely a bit of a lead for Ammonite here as they rotate towards their Shaman camp. They still have plenty of time to take it before the Immortal spawns, so definitely a huge camp advantage in favor of Ammonite, 3-1.
And I want to show everyone what you can see in the camera frame at the bottom. Those are his knees. This is a PG-friendly stream, so... And how can he play like this?
And his legendary bathrobe, of course.
Yeah. I'm glad the camera cuts off at that angle. I don't want to see the rest. Good root.
Oh,
very good
a lot
root.
of damage on reset.
Nearly a kill here.
Yep.
If Masquerade had a Stormbolt at this point still, that would have been the end of Genji, but he makes it out. So first Immortal is up, Sledgehammer is in, 7 stacks so far. For Nick is going to try to get a few more in these team
They're
fights.
going on Diablo.
Stuns are in, they're trying to follow up. Diablo low, having problems here, getting stunned again, but he's fine as Ammonite is defending. Only Greymane is attacking.
And Reset's going out.
Reset jumping in, jumping out, just saying hello here real quickly. But they're sending Murden down to deal with Greymane.
Pretty even so far. A little bit more damage done to Washed Up's Immortal here, but halftime not yet triggered, and now they're defending their Immortal.
Yeah, again, Reset gets a bit poked here, but the Koreans have done well. They've gotten the lead on the Immortal. They're also, of course, looking at experience. Level 7 during the first Immortal phase would be a nice start. Spell. Diablo in trouble once again here at the front line. Always gets targeted.
Yeah,
and
the root barely misses, so Spell walks away.
And we got 11 stacks now for Vala. I mean, for Nick, those fights in the early game are kind of nice. As long as there's not really anybody forcing the issue and fully committing, he can poke from a distance, get a few stacks together. It's really going to help him once he has level 7. But it also means that the Koreans will now secure a talent advantage, and they will be very willing to fight around it.
Yeah, and this posturing is a little better right now for Ammonite because they just take 7, and with that 7 advantage, they're almost certainly going to try to force the rest of this Immortal down.
Yeah, and they definitely should. They got the talent lead here. Again, Diablo being focused, but he is totally fine. Hyde is protecting him time and time again here, and Washed Up just doesn't have the damage output yet in order to drop him. With additional talents that might change, but they're now racing the Immortal, just trying to stem the bleeding a little bit. It looks like the Koreans are going to secure this one. Low shield, 4,700 hit points, but still very, very nice start for the red team.
Yeah, and this is not too big of a deal for Washed Up here. They did concede because they were down a talent here. They just took what they can. And you gotta remember, Vala Q build does not actually have good race until level 7. So while it looks like the Korean team has the better race right now. That can change very quickly. Now that Vala has 7, that immortal damage is going to spike like crazy with the help of the Monster Hunter talent.
Yeah, 100%. So once we're heading into the next Immortal phase, she might be able to solo the whole thing. But the Koreans are still looking to get more value at the bottom push. They're hoping for a kill. If anybody steps a bit too far out of position, they are ready to punish it. But positioning pretty decent so far from Washed Up. Half of the HP on the fort is gone, but they save it. Even the solo laner started to rotate down, but we have Urel back at the top lane. But Washed Up needs to be careful. There's still 5 heroes around for Ammonite.
Yeah, Spell's hiding.
And trying to come in here again. Muradin, stun, nicely done. Masquerade in trouble. And Bathrow Boy is down.
And that was a wonderful rotate by the Blaze there. Blaze rotating faster than Urel, forcing a 5 versus 4, forcing Muradin into a corner with no escape.
We definitely have some good scaling going on for the blue team, but currently it is Ammonite running the show with 2 kills to 0. They have taken a half-level lead, and they're looking pretty good here right now. If they can snowball that towards level 10, it's a little bit doubtful that it's going to be helpful for the next Immortal. Wash Up should be able to get enough XP by then, but still, that early level 10 is going to be great to push through the bot lane, unless, of course, they lose Spell, and Diablo goes down. Immortal my ass.
Yeah, that is a very good kill, especially because they were quite far behind in XP there. So just with that 1 kill and some comeback experience, the levels are equalized.
It's always a little bit crazy that the early game kills, they don't give you a lot of XP, and then once that another 5, 6, 7 minute passes, you get 1 kill and you get a massive chunk. It's the underdog experience kicks in too. It's always, it's kind of silly, but obviously an interesting mechanic and allows for combat at any moment in the game. Here's level 10 now. Immortals in 10 seconds. Ammonite can't really get too much done now that Diablo has fallen. But for the next objective, this is going to be a nice battle.
Yeah, and that kill, I cannot stress how important that is, because without that kill, they would not be level 10 right now. They would maybe be 9.5 and have to concede at least half of an Immortal. But with the kill, level stabilized, it's just a completely even game at this point.
The level 10 abilities, the dynamic has definitely changed a bit. And also we have the level
Hasu.
7 for level 7 for Vala, which is an absolute game changer. If they can get her close. Here comes the Sundering. They're trying to isolate Genji, but the follow-up just isn't there. Strafe has been used on Vala too, dishing out quite a decent amount of poke damage, but it's definitely not forcing anything. And Stukov has no problem sealing that up and following, which allows Ammonite to move in for the Immortal and just chunk it down.
Yeah, Urel had to move up to defend the Shaman camp on the top lane, and as a result, Washed Up chooses to give up the first half of the Immortal.
Yeah, this is starting to get a bit tricky for Washed Up. They're now completely zoned away. Hasu might be in trouble here. The X-Strike comes out. Blaze with the jet propulsion, but it misses. Tranquility used. They might be able to turn it here, but it's still Hasu who's in trouble. Trying to get away, but there's the kill. Thrall is down. Can Ammonite get a second? They drop the bunker, and they're re-engaging, and Genji with a big hit!
That is absolutely massive. 3 kills already. They're going for more. That is a pretty big disaster from Washed Up. The Blaze stun there, actually, hitting them out here.
And now they're going for the Immortal, but this fight was just everything. First Thrall falls, and here it comes, the jet propulsion, reset, not hesitating for a second. He's immediately there, gets the kill, and they lock in 4 in total. 5 kills to 1. What a fantastic start into this best of 5 for Ammonite. The early game on Battlefield of Eternity is theirs, and this is getting quite dicey for Washed Up. That top fort is in trouble for sure.
Yeah, that's a very healthy Immortal. 75% shields, and while the Immortal has shields, it also does ranged attacks, so this is going to be a pretty hard defense. 13 hit for the side of Ammonite as well, so they're going to have to defend down a talent here once again.
Yeah, Vala is by far top damage right now with 35,000, but that doesn't help them at all if they can't translate that damage into kills. Genji sitting at 22,000 top damage dealer for Ammonite, and he was locking in one after another. Now we got the top fort eliminated, and with that talent advantage that you just highlighted, they are looking for more. They want to drop the wall at the top keep.
Yeah, looks like they're playing it safe here. After getting 1 tower, they decide to leave. Look, Roman down here, looking for something. Finishing off the fort, probably getting bot camp as well. They're playing the map very well on the side of Ammonite.
Yeah, with that we have both forts eliminated. So the outer ring of defense is gone. And moving in for the camps. And washed up, they have to go for level 13 and then at some point force the fight here and look for a good opportunity. They could wait for the objective. It's unlikely that Ammonite gets to level 16. But now at least they're on even talents and can go for that fight.
Yeah, Diablo is actually at 92 souls right now, so he needs 8 more for that power spike and that revive. We'll see if he gets it before they decide to fight here.
Yeah, for washed up, 16 would also be really nice. We talked in the draft about the Vala, the percentage damage. So against Diablo, it would be a really nice tool of Manticore in your toolkit. But this is a long way until they have that. So for now, it is an opportunity to maybe get a battle going there. But yeah, they have to take some structures down. They really need to get some kills, or it's going to be a very rough first game for them.
Right, and like we talked about in the draft, the Thrall is going for a lot of percent damage. Both the level 1 and 7 talents are percent damage, and he might even go Alpha Wolf at 16 for a full giant killing build.
Yeah,
so hopefully take down Diablo.
You know, the cooldown reduction and everything, that would definitely help. They are already trying to go for Blaze, but Hazu is also getting attacked. Masquerade is there. Bunker has been used. Masquerade trying to get out, gets body block, big problem, Sundering, the ult from Diablo, the barbecue is real, Muradin dies first, can they get a counter kill? They can't, Urel even with the ult barely surviving here as they're starting to be chased down. Hazops is also about to be popped as Haben goes in and gets the kill. Greymane for the double, what a hit, Reset tries to get away and is able to escape.
Yeah, that was so close once again. Washed Up tried killing Blaze, but they just couldn't get him. The bunker goes down and Blaze walks away with 10% HP. And as soon as one person on Washed Up falls, the rest just keep falling over.
And this leads to a massive experience lead now for Ammonite. 1.5 levels ahead, about to hit level 16 while you're fighting for the few remaining hit points on the Immortal. It doesn't get much better than that, and it's going to be real tricky. Nick is doing his best to chunk the Immortal down and stop the bleeding. He has 34 stacks on his level 1, but the longer he stays, the more he risks being caught, and he gets caught, and that's the end of Vala.
Bye-bye indeed.
No banana, and he dies too.
Yeah, that was absolutely unfortunate. Vala walking into an Immortal stun, I believe, had to get the cleansed off of the Immortal stun, but then the Blaze charging right after that. No more cleanse, no more Vala, no more Washed Up.
Yeah, Hazops gets killed, Banana, and then even Muradin falls. So this is just an absolute disaster for the European team. Ammonite showing very, very clearly that day one was more of a fluke than anything else. They're here to party. They want to move on to the next round, and they're not going to make it easy for Washed Up.
Right. Ammonite did mention that day one they had some flight troubles. They were probably a little jet lagged, and they're looking like a completely new team today.
I mean, to be fair, that's a problem that pretty much every team has. It was actually kind of crazy how many people had delayed flights. Washed Up at 3 players that arrived, I believe, at midnight before the first day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Michael came in this morning. No, yesterday evening, right?
Right.
So, yeah, it was kind of bonkers. I'm just happy that we got all the teams here in time. But yeah, 11 kills to 1. This is a statement. This is not only a potential victory for the red team. This is also a massive statement that Ammonite is making here. They have nearly a 3-level lead at this point.
Yeah, it's not looking good. There's a chance for one more last-ditch attempt from the side of Washed Up. They're going to need to get a kill and get it fast if they want any chance of defending their core against this Immortal.
Yeah, the Immortal is starting to move in at the bot lane. Still with the shield, still with the rage damage. A little poke is happening. Vala already with her ult. They're trying to save the day, but the keep will fall for sure.
Stun.
Ammonite showing no mercy here. They keep pushing. They want that kill. They're looking for it. If anybody steps out of position, this could be game. Immortal, they try to take it slowly down, but it's getting tricky. The shield is slowly falling. Hazu attacked here. Comes in with a Sundering. They're trying to get a kill, but the X strike saves Genji.
Oh my god, the Immortal is on the core. Haben going on core. Ammonite all in the core with 5 people. No one's dying. And it looks like that will be all she wrote for game 1.
Nicely done, GG. And Ammonite takes the victory on Battlefield of Eternity. Super impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Really impressive performance, and little that Washed Up could do there. You could clearly see this didn't work out from start to finish, so
Yeah.
bit of a rude awakening.
Oh, yeah. It was pretty close until level 10, but as soon as level 10 hit, it seemed like all the team fights just went the way of
It was
Ammonite.
pretty close until it wasn't.
Yeah, pretty much. And we saw even Vala walking into Immortal Stun. You know, that's not something that a pro player usually does, so it shows that even the players themselves might have been a little shaken up by the way the fights were going.
I mean, it started even with the first camp that was taken by Ammonite, so they were from the beginning willing to be aggressive. Everybody rotated their side laner down to the bottom fight. The camp went to Ammonite, they got the first kill. Didn't really get a massive lead out of that situation, but it already set the pace a little bit and really showed that the Koreans are here to fight and not to play just second fiddle. So Washed Up, they need to change something if they want to have a chance to move on. Only game number 1 in the best of 5, but they definitely need to change their ammo here.
Oh, yeah. And the Twitter poll online actually showed that 75% of people were voting for Washed Up to win this match. And before the game, I was also, if you ask me, I would have also said Washed Up probably wins this 3-2, 3-1. But after that dominant showing, I'm not so sure anymore.
Same thing for me, honestly, especially when you consider that Ammonite lost to Bangbush, who are second seed in Europe. You would expect that the first seed would be able to at least play on an even level with them.
Right.
And again, it's game number 1.
Right.
Maybe the draft didn't work out for you. Maybe there were some issues. Masquerade had to pause the game at some point because of some stuff. Maybe that affected them. But at the end of the day, all those excuses, you know, don't really help you. You lost the game. You need to move on and need to go to the second map. And then we'll see if they can maybe turn things around here. But I had them pegged as the favorite here as well after what we've seen from Bangbush. And I mean, this is another European team.
Absolutely, yeah. And keep in mind that Washed Up, you know, in their own region, in Europe, they have beaten Bangbush. They came out on top, so definitely very surprising to see this.
We have Tomb of the Spider Queen up as the next map. So map number 2 is going to be Tomb. And Tomb is another one of the maps that Washed Up is usually quite comfortable on. If they have to pick a map, it's most of the time either Tomb of the Spider Queen or they're going into Towers of Doom. And in this case, they have first pick and they also have the map. Actually, I'm not 100% sure because they're swapping everything around right now. But traditionally, I would expect the first pick for Washed Up.
Yeah, I believe at the very least, usually the losing team gets to pick if they want first pick or map. So no matter which one they pick, they will have their comfort pick, their choice of what they want for the draft or the map. So they should be a little bit more comfortable this time around. Perhaps BOE not one of their favorite maps.
Yep, and unless we are changing the map settings, they chose map, which is honestly a little bit surprising because normally when you're looking at the European tournament scene, if you lose the game, it's mostly a pick straight into first pick. And even the observer is now just double checking to make sure that we have the correct settings here as the final players are joining the lobby. And I'm a bit curious myself, because if Washed Up gets first pick and they have a map that is very much so in their comfort zone, that would be a nice situation to start that comeback. Yeah, Ammonite chose the map.
Gotcha. So Washed Up will be starting with first pick here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. We'll have to see what they prioritize for this game.
Yep, and we're already starting. Draft is coming in, so, well, let's get the show on the road. We got map number 2 coming up here, ladies and gentlemen. Washed Up playing against Ammonite, the 1-0 lead for the Korean team. And we have first pick, first ban for the blue team. Immediately loser gets eliminated again, so they're sticking to the ban pattern that they already established in the first game.
Right.
Don't blame them for that at all.
And one thing I'm curious about is the Diablo first rotation for the Korean teams.
Yep.
This marks the 4th game where they have been unable to take down that Diablo in first rotation. So wondering if they're willing to let it through again or if they're going to try to adapt their draft to counter it once again.
I believe we saw one single game earlier today where Diablo was banned, and outside of that, most teams are just happy to let him through. But here's the adjustment. After losing to a Diablo first pick for the 4th time now on the Korean side, we're like, all right, we're done with the shit. This is over. Like,
that's,
there's one problem apparently.
You can trick me 4 times, but I'm not the 5th. No more.
It was actually kind of funny. In the first 2 maps that they played against Tempest, Diablo died a lot.
Yeah.
They really, really punished Capybara, but it didn't matter how many times they killed him. He always got value and traded. So
yeah, exactly. And a Blaze first pick here with the Diablo ban and the Lucio ban. Blaze, really good wave clear, really good ganking capabilities. Not to mention, Bunker can just save your whole team if used properly.
Yep.
I like that first pick.
An absolute comfort zone for Dequaza. One of his most played heroes, obviously, since it is one of the strongest side laners, and he's been playing it for ages. So that is a fantastic first pick for them. But let's see what we're getting from Ammonite. They go for Genji again. Did a lot of work for them on the first map. And now with Malfurion, they're going to try to play the Shimada once more.
Yeah, that's a very early Malfurion pick there. I don't think I see too many early Malfurions this tournament, especially not without the tank already picked. So it'd be interesting to see what they're trying to go for there. Likely got something in plan with their tank to combo with that Malfurion, perhaps, for Chain CC.
Hazu with Jaina, and we get Brightwing. Jaina is a hero that they brought back a couple of times. It's not only Hazu that can play her. Nick has also shown a couple of Jaina games. And that's one of the strengths. They have really a lot of overlapping hero pools that allow them to be a bit more flexible towards the end of the draft. Normally, it's Nick that is really their secret weapon and can always bust out a new hero. But if they feel that they need to draft something a bit more standard, he can always then take over in the swap round and go back, pick Jaina, and let Hazu play a completely different hero.
Yeah, and so far, the wave clearer is just all on the side of Washed Up. I'm a little surprised that Johanna is banned by Ammonite, because Ammonite has absolutely no wave clear on their team.
Yeah.
And the Johanna ban means they're not picking it up for themselves. So they must really be trying to look for some team fight action here, which I find a little suspicious. I find on Tomb, if you don't have enough wave clear, you're in for a bad time.
Leo gets banned, so talking about the wave clear is exactly another one that they're eliminating. And it's going to be interesting what exactly Ammonite has in mind now for this, because team fights alone are unlikely to win you the map here.
Yeah.
We got Sylvana still up, which is a fairly regular pick on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Vala, of course, if they want to play that.
Oh, they're saving for last pick for the damage dealer here.
Dehaka and Anubarak.
Well, the Haka pretty good in the solo lane, of course, and the Anubarak and the Malfurion makes a lot more sense now. That is now stun into root into sleep, so you have Chain CC for days here. Looks like they're going to look for some serious aggression once again.
And what are we getting for Masquerade? Well, he's going to play at the front line now. And of course, Nick. I mean, every single time that we're playing Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Oh, Varian.
Oh, Varian and Greymane.
I do like this draft. They're trying to shut this Genji down. A taunt, Variant, and a Brightwing. Not just one point and click CC, but both.
There's something. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
There's something they played a lot with Bad Benny, who's obviously not here. Watch Up is a mixed team out of two teams, but these variant drafts is something that they played a fair amount of. And just before they picked it, I was also wondering, because Tomb of the Spider Queen is a map where Nick used to really like to play Carrigan and showcase that. And with Jaina as another damage dealer and burst damage, plus also Blaze and Brightwing, that could have maybe been an option, but it's always a bit more of a risky pick. So at this point, we get Junkrat. Very aggressive draft here from Washed Up. They definitely are looking for kills.
Absolutely. The last pick filling for their wave clear. They didn't have that many choices. There's it's most likely going to be a mage-ish kind of pick. Junkrat played a lot this tournament. The other mages actually not very seen at all. No Guldans, no KTs, so looks like they will be going with the Junkrat and his annoying traps.
And it all comes down to level 4. Once that you have taunt available for Varian, the question is, can they get those taunts and can they just chain the damage and also the added CC to get those kills? If you are playing a Varian draft, you really hope to gain some momentum, take a few opponents down, get a slight lead there, take map control, get those turn-ins, get those web weavers, and play around that. And we'll see if they can pull it off. We're headed into the game. We got Tomb of the Spider Queen, map number 2. So let's get ready for our European team here. Can they bring it back? On the left, it is Washed Up with Hazops on Jaina. Nick on Greymane, Dequaza on Blaze, Masquerade is playing Varian, and Banana H on Brightwing. Over on the right side of the map, we got the Koreans, Team Ammonite, with the lead in the series. They've taken the first map, they've taken Battlefield of Eternity. Spell is playing Junkrat this time, Haben on Junkrat, Spell on Anubarak. We got HA2 on Dehaka. Reset for the second time in a row on Genji, and Hyde on Malfurion.
Yeah, and speaking of the Varian, I wanted to mention that it's going to be a pain for him to play into Junkrat here. Varian can't really escape the boop very easily. If you taunt someone, you're almost CCing yourself for a little bit as well, so you fall easy prey into a boop trap combo if that's the case as well. So we'll be on the lookout for that at this game as well.
Really nice move here also by Spell as he's trying to stun out Jaina, anticipating the juke a little bit and working around it. Not of any consequence at this point, but really good thinking from him. With Jaina, we also have to keep a bit of an eye on the baseline, of course, to see when she's going to complete the quest and gets the added defense measures. But yeah,
there's the boop.
Masquerade is immediately in trouble. Brightwing with the attempted heal and save, but it's not happening. It's a kill, and Varian goes down.
Yeah, they do get the Giant Camp as a consolation prize there at least, but that was pretty unfortunate. You gotta remember when you're picking Varian, he's very weak until level 4, almost like a melee minion, and Masquerade knew that. He was trying to play safe, trying to play in the bushes, but the second he stepped out, the Korean team instantly went on him and caught him.
We're actually in the middle against Dehaka, not forcing the issue just yet. Yeah, and we still have...
Is he gonna go? No, there's no backup here. He's just poking, getting information for his team.
Yeah, that would have been pretty risky, jumping in against Brightwing in particular. So he's letting this slide, but still poking a bit. So far, level 4 isn't there, but they get damage onto resets. Nicely done. And now with the next talent approaching, this is where Washed Up can begin to look for kills.
Yep, it's getting close here. One silver lining for Washed Up here is the wave was closer to their side of the camp, their map, so they could clear the night camp almost for free there and still have their night camp pushing mid.
Reset, quick jump here, Masquerade, there's the taunt, the follow-up, the damage!
Huge damage!
Big stun, Dequaza with a hit. Masquerade in trouble though, finds himself on the wrong side of the wall, but is able to move out. Nicely done, and this is the kind of comms that they have to execute in order to get kills with the composition they're playing here.
Yeah, and like I mentioned before, the boop being a huge danger, actually booping Varian over the wall, but he just walked out the other way, so never punished on the end of Washed Up for that.
Greymane, of course, is also fairly nice when you're trying to take some structures down.
Hasu.
This, then again, a bit of a problem. The taunt is out, and they are creating some space and time for Jaina to get away. Nicely done.
It's actually two people pushing bottom right now. Greymane getting a lot of wall damage.
Having Greymane alone on a lane is just phenomenal for them now. So the entire wall destroyed, that's great. 47 of 48 gems in the hands of the two teams. No turn-ins have happened yet. Hyde assisting Genji wherever he can.
Yeah, both teams crossing the 50 mark right now. No team has turned in any until just now as Hasu hands his gems in. We'll see which team can get all 50 in first. I always...
the stun, the follow-up, but they're trying to turn it. The taunt is there, and there's the poly. And Nubarak in trouble there for a moment, but is able to walk away. Initially, it was Ammonite trying to get a kill here, but we have a lot of back and forth battles now between the teams. Everybody is looking for that second kill.
Yeah, both of these guys are running a lot of CC, both running good kill comps, and both are just barely making it out every time. Oh, Hasu, I don't know if he's going to get lucky this time.
Yeah, there we go. They're trying for the kill, and this time they get it. Jaina is down. They try for Masquerade, blocking his path as best as they can. Spell still continuing, but he's range of the two towers now as well. And nice, Masquerade gets away. But that was well played by Ammonite. The problem is, of course, Blaze is completely alone in the bot lane. It gets even more value for the blue team.
Yeah, it was actually really, really good that Varian got away there. If he had gone down, it would have been kind of a disaster. But since he didn't, and it was a 5-man commitment, really, bringing 5 people to top for 1 kill, not too big of a deal. Even though they did get the first web weavers, you still have all P5 alive by the time it spawns to defend. Exactly,
so they got the turn-in, they got the web weavers. How much damage can they do with this? We have a couple of heroes on the side of Washed Up that are just fantastic here, and one of them, of course, Jaina. So she's trying to burn the mid lane web weaver down as quickly as possible, as Masquerade is creating a bit of extra space. But the red team is now attempting to push. Blaze is taking care of the bot lane. Greymane up top side has to deal with Hyde now and with Haben. And that could be a problem. There's going to be a boob in a second. They catch him, and Nick still able to retreat though.
Ooh, very well done there. He was in a lot of danger after eating the sleep and the boot, but sidesteps his way out without any problems.
Not a lot of damage done by Ammonite here. That first Web Weaver wave didn't do a whole lot, especially if you compare it to the bot lane of the red team, where we've seen Greymane push earlier, Blaze was taking over, so half the HP on the fort are gone. And let's not forget that Washed Up still has a turn-in available. They're a little bit ahead in the experience even. If they get the camp, if they get the turn-in, they would really set themselves up to take one fort down here in the early game.
Yeah, Washed Up trying to turn in bottom there, but getting denied, so they settle for going for both camps. And now the turn-in gets let in, so they're going to have 2 camps with their spiders. This is going to be a very strong push for Washed Up.
Yeah, this could be become a bit dicey for Ammonite. They got to be careful here. They have the early level 10, but the window is so small that it doesn't allow them to force anything around it. So here we have the Water Elemental, and it is time to see what Washed Up can do. They're defending or trying to defend in the mid lane against the camp. They got a big push going on there. Jaina's all the way up at the top, playing it slow and passive as she's fully aware that there's multiple heroes rotating towards her. But this is a chance for Washed Up to do some serious structural damage.
Yeah, Ammonite getting a free clear on the top spider here, so Washed Up gonna have to double down on mid and really commit to this push to make it worthwhile here. We'll see what they can get done.
Yeah, bot lane fort is gonna fall, but in the middle, massive push. The camp is still active, and we have the Web Weavers. Genji jumping into the back, immediately being damaged. The Watermelon is there too. They're trying to control him as best as they can. The cooldown is ready though. The second fort about to fall. Structurally, they are ahead, but big damage against Brightwing. The bunker needs to be used. Reset is a bit low. Can they go for him? They're not even trying. They have the 2 forts. That's all that they need right now.
And that was actually an amazing save by Hyde, sleeping both the Brightwing and the Blaze. The Blaze was in prime position to cut all of the team off with a charge, but Hyde catching him with a root and a sleep midway kind of saves his whole team there.
Yeah, really well done. Top side though, we got the Cocoon. Malfurion down, bodied by Jaina. Nice! Jaina with a kill. They're trying for a counter against Masquerade, but this isn't over. The Europeans trying to chase, and they go for a Nubarak, and they take him down.
Well, that's 2 dead on the side of Ammonite already. Really well played by Washed Up. They're gonna go for the fort, and they're going for more kills. They want this to Haka.
Taunt is ready, but they can't come in here. But this is a nice start for Washed Up. It's such an important game for them. They are 0-1 against Ammonite. If you lose to the Spider Queen, then you are all of a sudden in a situation where you have to reverse sweep or you're dropping out of the tournament.
Yeah.
So it is, especially mentally, so important to lock in a victory here. And they're not there yet, but they've made some great moves towards that goal. They've taken all the forts down, they have a leading experience, and they are going for the second turn in a row now.
Yeah, that last fight completely shifted the momentum of the game. Now they're going to be a talent tier ahead very shortly with a full spider push. They are in complete control of the game as of this moment.
Level 13 is ready. It's an entire level that Ammonite needs to catch up. The Web Weavers on the move, and here's the big opportunity for Washed Up. Opening those gates is the absolute minimum of what they need to accomplish here. They're hoping for more, they're hoping for a kill, and they're hoping for a keep.
There's a lot of big power spikes at level 13 for Washed Up. Blaze gets a ton more damage. Icy Veins on Jaina as well, and the anti-healing on Varian is going to cut down a huge amount of the damage mitigation on the side of Ammonite. This is a very scary Washed Up team charging into the mid lane.
Big pressure in the mid lane right now. They're starting to make their move for the keep. It's taking damage, but can they take it? The defense is there. The Haka moving in. Web Weaver still ready at the top. They're looking for a kill. Masquerade, he wants that taunt, but the Web Weaver goes down. They got 50% of the keep, but they're not able to get more than that.
Yeah, looks like they're going to push the matter with Ammonite clearing the top spider, just taking that time to get some more damage on mid-keep. Looks like Ammonite wanted to start the fight, though.
And they're turning around immediately
Oh!
onto Numera. Get wrecked, son. No chance for him. They turn on him and they body the Beetle. And they want more. The Poli is in. The stun of Tequaza connects, but Reset is able to get out.
Oh. Oh, it's not a problem. Very well played there. It looks like this mid keep is gonna go down here. The noob actually slightly missing his burrow charge and washed up, smelling blood in the water, immediately turn on him as 5.
Yeah, here we got it again. Tis was looking for it, misses it, and the insta turnaround. The call was immediate. The Haka came in just a second later, trying to go for his ult too, but the timing was just off, and that allowed Washed Up to get that kill and snowball the fight.
Yeah, now they're in a very dominant position. 2 levels up, about to breach 16. I can't imagine they will ever let Ammonite turn in here as...
Oh, that's 45 gems! The stun attempt! He's going for the essence. They're trying to block him off, but the timing was not quite there. And now it's Hazu! And he dies! Jaina is down. Is this the opportunity to come back for the Korean team? The focus on Dequaza. He buys time with the bunker, but he still dies. And this might just be the moment where Ammonite gets back into the game.
Yeah, I'm getting slight deja vu moments here. So close to the next talent here, and now the game is almost equalized once again. It might be if Ammonite can get this turn in.
If they were able to take the Haka down with different timing on those stuns and the moves, they might have been able to pull that one off. That's 45 gems down the drain. That would have been GG right then and there.
Yeah, I don't even blame them for going for that. It was very juicy. It was just a little bit not enough, and the game quickly turns back towards Ammonite. However, Washed Up are still in a fine position. They still have the talent lead for another half a level here, so we'll see what they can do with it.
Yeah, they should be able to defend a bit easier, of course. In just a few seconds, the talent lead will be negated. Web Weavers are charging ground. It's a 5 versus 5 on the map again. Still the leading experience, but now they gotta defend. Can they pull it off, or are we seeing the red team look for another kill here? Can they get it? They're pushing the mid lane. They want some forts. They know that they're in trouble, especially in the middle, since they have lost their keep a bit earlier, but that Web Weaver doesn't stand a chance. Gets met by Jaina and Greymane, and there's just no saving it.
Yeah, this is a very good defense on the side of Washed Up. 2 Web Weaver phases later, they haven't lost a single fort, and it doesn't look like they're going to.
The drag on the other hand against Varian, but immediately Jaina reacting, trying to create some space as well. They're moving in again. The taunt could be ready, and it is, but he gets spooked out of the fight. The cocoon negated. And the fight continues as we see the Riptire. They're attempting to go for Dequaza. He has to bunker up. The battle's still ongoing as Hyde is the next target, but they're turning and they're dragging him again. It's a kill against the Frenchman. Blaze falls, and it is Ammonite that is chasing once more.
Yeah, and that was a really unfortunate, just a slight overchase leads to the death of the Blaze here. And this is a 5 versus 4. They gotta be careful here. Masquerade getting gone on.
Uh-oh, Spell gets attacked. Still a 5 versus 4 here. They gotta be cautious. They're trying to use the choke point to their advantage. In total, 5 kills to 4. We are 13, 14 minutes into the game. No turn-in available for either team, but Ammonite can secure the gems that they're holding.
Oh, Masquerade getting gone on again.
Yeah.
So much CC, but the Brightwing TP heals him. Oh, that's all 5. They're going in. Banana's blown up.
Masquerade, nirgendwo. And as Brightwing tries to save, she goes down, but the counter kill against Malfury, and Jaina pays the price on the other hand. The battle not over, it just continues. Genji once more. They're going for Masquerade, they're going for Nick. Dequaza's back to business too. It's a 4 versus 3 on the map. And Washed Up, they need to get their 5-man back. They need to stabilize a bit. It seems like they're slightly panicking, but they're also buying time for a top lane push with the double camping catapults that could severely damage the top keep now.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that was just a 2-for-1 trade, but it wasn't the end of the world for them. That top keep is actually almost dead, and they still have a big building advantage. As soon as those 2 are back alive and they have 5-man back together, they are still in a slightly winning spot.
What honestly concerns me a little bit is that we now have another turn-in available for Ammonite. So
Yeah.
Ammonite, I feel like they have really stabilized. They are now in a position where they can push this a bit. Reset gets taunted, but there's no follow-up. So Masquerade can come in and try and slow him down a little bit, but here's the turn-in attempt, and it is likely going to happen. Interrupts from Masquerade. For how long can he keep that up? Probably not long enough. So it is another web weave away for Ammonite, and they are just continuing to try and get back into the game, and I think this time we should see a 4-2 fall.
Oh yeah, definitely. But at this point, that was the last of their gems here. So even if a 4 or 2 falls, it's not the end of the world. As long as Washed Up keeps calm and collected, they will hit 21st.
Yeah. At least they should. They can't lose any more heroes now, though. And Ammonite, especially Dehaka, they're doing exceptionally well. There's another drag. Just as I say, the follow-up is happening. Masquerade alive. Junkrat trying to help out too. Didn't quite work out for them. Blaze is at the top, is trying to defend. Washed Up, they can let a fort go. They don't have to defend everything here. They can buy some time for Blaze to join them.
Oh, no. Blaze wants to play it safe.
20.
He's going back to his team.
Any second, they got 20. That's going to help them with the defense. Mid lane, Ford is still holding. At the bottom, they're losing one.
And I have to criticize Ammonite a little bit here, but hold that thought. Jaina face checks the bush, and there's a Dehaka tongue waiting for her.
The ice block, and Genji again with the kill. It is Dehaka over and over again that prepares the kills for them. Right wing is down. That's a double. Ammonite, they are chasing. They are hungry.
Yeah, this is a 5 versus 3. 20 advantage. Doesn't matter all that much if you're going to give them a free kill like that. That was very unfortunate. They just hit 20. You know Hasu wanted to get the 25, but just a tiny bit over eager. And he walks into the bush of death.
Yeah, they're making a lot of mistakes here right now. In all the team fights, they had problems with Dehaka landing one tong after another, and they knew he was waiting for it. He's been looking for them the entire time. He got multiple against Masquerade, where it wasn't really of any consequence because there was no follow-up available, but you have to expect him if you're moving in like this. And giving them 3 kills is not going to help your cause. It's 9 kills to 5 now, and what was a very massive lead for Washed Up has now all of a sudden turned into a game where Ammonite has the momentum and is pushing for a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, they still have a keep wall though, so this is not anywhere close to over. If Ammonite want this game, they're going to need another team wipe. So Washed Up can definitely defend this boss.
Can defend the boss as long as they don't lose any heroes here. They're trying to burn it down quickly, and a lot of damage is already done. We're 18 minutes into the game. Ammonite, they are the ones calling the shots right now. And a lot is hinging on Dehaka. He's playing a fantastic game for them. So much damage, doing absolute work here. The boss defended, the wall intact. 44 gems for Washed Up, 37 for Ammonite as they are securing them in the middle of the map.
And honestly, Ammonite has not been pushing very well with their spiders. They've been giving top spider free clear to either Blaze or Greymane every single time and not really pushing a 5 versus 4 advantage. So, they're not getting a lot done with their spiders. Washed Up, if they're a little bit more patient, just look for a better fight. They could definitely still take this game.
Both front lines looking for stuns, looking for kills, looking for taunts.
And that's a good...
There's the stun, there's the taunt, where's the damage? Genji is forcing them back in the turnaround attempt by his spell as he comes in with another hit. And this is Jaina in trouble, gets pooped around. Genji wrecking her again. Another kill for Reset. He is crushing it here. Now they're moving in for Dequaza. Blaze trying to get away, but it's another reset for Reset as he comes in with a swift strike. The chase is on. 11 kills to 5. Those drags are insane, and that is 26 gems down the drain. Nicely done. It's a triple kill, and Washed Up is in real trouble right now.
Oh yeah, Ammonite barreling down towards the core here, and with only a tank and a healer, there's not enough damage to stop them from doing this.
They go for the core here, and so they should. They have it in their own hands now. It's 20 seconds for Jaina to be back. Masquerade is trying to buy some time. Brightwing gets caught, gets dragged, is attempting to move out. Banana, they're buying a lot of time, but the shield is falling too. And Korea wants to go for the 2-0 lead in the best of 5. 5 seconds for Jaina. The core at 70%. Here comes the Riptire. Masquerade trying to buy time, but it is too little, too late. This is game. Ammonite turns the game and takes a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, very well done by Ammonite there.
I mean, at this point, you really got to ask yourself, was it well done by Ammonite, or was it just Washed Up throwing the game away? It was a good job by Ammonite capitalizing on the mistakes that we
Right.
made. But it felt that after the first few kills against Washed Up, they seemed shaken. They seemed nervous.
They did. With the face check into the bush, and even that last fight, what happened there was the Riptire started going into the team of Washed Up. Hasu tried to ice block the Riptire, but he ice blocked it a little too early, and then Hyde saw that, capitalized on it immediately.
Yeah.
He dropped his root onto the ice block. No way out, couldn't get to the bunker. Immediate death after that.
And we're back to business. Game number 3. And it's not looking good for Europe.
Not too good for Washed Up, at least. Bang Bush, different story.
Yeah, Bangbush is currently looking pretty good, but Washed Up, I just talked to them. I mean, you can't really say I talked to them. I talked at them a little bit, and Nick was just looking at me. He's like, ooh, it's a little bit tricky. So they didn't feel too confident. I don't know. Ultralis has also been mentioning that he thinks this is a bit rough for them to come back just mentally, but this is going to be the attempt to make it happen on Infernal Shrine, since they just went for the draft. So we're heading straight into that as the third game is starting up, and it's the last chance for Washed Up to move on to the next round of the tournament. If they lose here, it's all over, and they are sent packing by Ammonite. And for the Koreans, this is, of course, I mean, the ideal setup. You have 3 match points now, and the world's their oyster.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a long road for Washed Up here, but if it's gonna start anywhere, it's here. This is their last life, right? Do or die.
Yep. And we've seen tons and tons of reverse sweeps, at least in the European scenes. They should be familiar with that, but they were pretty annoyed, you could tell, after they lost the second map. That was definitely a game that they should have won, and then it being snacked away like this by them making mistakes, and just like it just compounded at some point, and it really messed with them. So can they just concentrate on game number 3, win it here, and maybe carry some momentum into a potential 4th map? We'll find out. We have Tyrael banned out, and also the ban on on Sergeant Hammer again. And let's see what Washed Up is going for as the first pick for Shrines. Could be a Blaze pick again.
Yeah, the ban's pretty standard at this point. Both teams just banning the other team's meta at this point. And we'll see what Washed Up wants for their first pick.
They take Genji. Reset had it twice, and it was a big problem. He was the one chasing Jaina down over and over. Every time Jaina went for an ice block, Genji said, yeah, thank you very much. Here we go. Got the damage in. And this time they just said, okay, let's take that away. Let's give it to Nick and see what Reset is doing after that. And Nick obviously very, very strong on Genji too. But yeah, definitely an adjustment made here by them after the 2 games we just saw.
Yeah, and in response, we have Blaze and Rhaegar. Just an ungodly amount of Shrine clear picked up by the Korean team. Looks like they're going to want to do some wave clear, and they're also very well set up to play for any objective fights.
And we are most likely going to see Bloodlust again from them. Koreans love to go Bloodlust Rhaegar. I don't think we've seen a single Ancestral healing Rhaegar from them in this tournament yet. It was exclusively the Western teams that went for Ancestral. But here comes Leo. You've been talking about wave clear. And Washed Up is responding. Dequaza with Leo, and then Johanna being picked as the main tank. I think they got plenty.
Yeah, wave clear for days, and not just that, but Johanna almost certainly going the double blind, which you would imagine is a very good counter to a Bloodlust comp.
Yeah, and I want to see if there's maybe an adjustment being made by Rhaegar and heading into Ancestral, but then again, they've even been playing it against Falstad, who could theoretically always use a gust during these team fights and push them back, but they made it work over and over again, so I'm very curious.
I'm actually mystified by this Bloodlust pick, because they're picking it with like Sylvanas, Genji. These are heroes that only do maybe half physical damage at best, the other half is magical. Yeah, this is not like Raynor, Thrall, Greymane Bloodlust. They're going Bloodlust with, you know, almost all mages, I feel like, but still making it work, so I've been impressed.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive to say the least. Let's see if they're going to use that again. But the double pick for Ammonite, so right now we get a Nubarak and we get Hanzo for them. They really like their Nubarak plays, and when the stuns land, especially with the Blaze follow-up or that arrow that we're seeing from Hanzo, then can do a lot of damage and get a quick kill in. But we also saw what happens to Tist if he misses the stun and Washed Up makes a quick call to turn.
Yeah, this time it should be a little bit more forgiving for them with the Johanna and the Leoric, but still, if you miss a stun, you get Blessed Shield.
And here we are again. We get Abathur. Abathur is something that they already busted out once.
Right.
Now they try it again. So they were talking about it, trying to surprise the Koreans a little bit. Here it is. That is a big risk, but it's now or never. So you might as well, if that works for them, that keeps the Korean guessing, that might shake them a little bit. So they have Karazim for the symbiote. They also have Genji, so that's two heroes that work extremely well with Abathur, and where the Ultimate Evolution copy later on, of course, can also do wonders.
Yeah, and I am a big fan of Abathur in most cases. I think it's very strong when you're combining it with heroes like Johanna, Genji, and Monk. But one thing I have to mention is this is very heavy on execution.
Yeah.
So if Nick can execute, then this comp will do its job. But the question is, how is his mental state? Can he come back from the last two games and be able to carry on a very mechanically difficult execution role here?
We'll find out now. So we're headed into game number 3. The last pick for Korea was Tigers. Of course, for the map alone, already fantastic. Every time that you're fighting for a shrine and you pop Odin, you find yourself in an amazing position here. Can try to burn down the opponent. When Hazu comes in with a copy on Abathur, they're going to try to burn it down as quickly as they can as well. And this is, as you already said, definitely where they have to now shine. They have to concentrate, they have to focus on the execution, make these comps with Abathur work. We're in game number 3, everybody. It might be the last map for Washed Up. We're going to find out right now. It is Ammonite against Washed Up here. And, well, we got on the left side in blue, we got Hazorps on Abathur. He's playing the Slugger. Nick on Genji, Dequaza on Leoric, Banana H on Karazim, and Masquerade on Johanna. Over on the right side of the map, though, the red team, the Koreans, a 2-0 lead in match point number 1 in this best of 5. Reset. His Genji was taken away. He went for the lesser Shimada brother. He went for Hanzo, definitely less pretty. The soy boy in the family. Haben on Tigers. Hyde is playing Rhaegar. H82 is playing Blaze. And Spell is once again on Nubarak.
Yeah, and expanding a little bit more on my execution point, there's generally 2 ways you want to play this kind of Abathur comp. The first way is you out-split them. You try to separate them so that Genji Abathur can always be picking on someone that's isolated. From their game yesterday, it didn't look like they were doing that too much though. So the other way is you have to pick off someone in the back with the combined burst damage of Genji and Abathur. And it looks like that's what Nick is trying to do for this round.
They have a couple of juicy targets there, and one of them obviously Hanzo, so if they can get a kill there, that would be fantastic for them. Banana H, a very aggressive pick to go into Karazim here too. Whenever he has a symbiote, he can also chase for days, and it's really going to help him. They have to be aggressive in those fights. They have to be looking for the kills, and that's what they're going to try and do throughout the game. The big game changer, of course, being that level 10 ability.
Behind. This is a 5 versus 4 invade here.
Yeah, they're trying for it, and they're going for Tiz, but they are lacking that 5th hit point pool. And Nubarak dives out, the cap is taken. Can they go for Rhaegar? They're trying. Here comes the symbiote. Hyde in trouble, and Hyde goes down. First blood for Team Washed Up.
And very well played there. The Abathur hat helping out the Leoric top. Oh no, the knee! The belly! It's okay, we're Genji.
No way. I mean, he tried, but typical Genji play here. And then Genji goes down, Reset barely survives, so it's a kill for a kill. Washed Up still a bit ahead since they also got the camp, but that was definitely a bit of a meme there.
Yeah, that's okay. You know where I come from, we call that a warm-up feed. Everyone gets one, no big deal. They are still a little bit ahead with them taking that camp and the Rhaegar kill from earlier.
Testing their limits a little bit. Absolutely all right for that. Yeah, we have also in regards to the build that they're playing here, a bit of an adaptation being made, but the fight at the bottom of the map is now focusing on another camp. This time it's taken by the Koreans. Haben really low, but he's still alive. We got the Adrenaline Overlord here. The last time that they played Abathur on Towers of Doom, they went into a Toxic Nest build, even adapting on level 7, but right now they're more so focusing on the symbiote to help out Genji and Karazim when they're moving into the big fights.
Yeah, and actually the last time Leoric was played by Dequaza, I believe he went auto-attack build, so if he's going for that again, the increased attack speed could help with that a lot.
Also on Towers of Doom.
Yeah.
Same game, actually, exactly. So we'll see what they can do with this combo in the late game if it comes to that. For now, it's the first shrine that we have to focus on. And if you play Abathur in the early game until level 10, you always miss that 5th hit point pool in those team fights.
Oh, they're going
the
for High.
Symbiote can help out quite a lot. High gets attacked here. The stuns on the other hand. Quasar might have to activate a straight here and does exactly that. Genji stunned and it's a double kill. Korea back to business.
Those were really good blaze stuns. Just locking down the Genji over and over there with the double kill. They're going to secure the shrine here, and once again, Ammonite coming to an early lead.
Looked really good with the first camp that they were able to snack away, but now washed up. Starting to have a bit more of a problem. The stuns are coming in from Spell very consistently. The Quasar is back to business again. It's great. Abathur gets killed. Oh my god.
Haben with the snipe in the bot lane.
Blaze is at least dead up at the top, but still 4 kills to 2. Abathur down, the Slugger eliminated, the bait over the wall still working for them. And interestingly enough, Washed Up is still had an experience, so I guess that at least works for them. They're going to lose some infrastructure here, but the defense is going to be all right. And the Quasar is able to assist the camp topside. He might fall. Not sure if he can escape there, but it's going to be close, and he gets away.
And honestly, that was not too bad. With Abathur, chaotic games are your friends. The more chaotic the game is, the more the Abathur can help everyone out. So actually ending up completely even though it looked quite bad for Washed Up there.
Absolutely. If you look at experience, if you look at the situation on the map, it is dead even. And it looked very, very bad because you have Abathur dying all of a sudden. You think they're falling apart here, but they're starting to really do a little bit better, even pulling ahead in experience. And we grab that early level 10 and try to capitalize on it. Once again, camp taken. This time no invade. Abathur has transitioned towards the top, but we also going to see the next shrine activating. They're half level ahead right now. They will have that early level 10, and maybe they can capitalize on it by pushing for the top structure. Do some damage here. Nick is guarding the bush. Rotation from Blaze is happening, but he's already low. Jojo in the middle of the map has to go for the early Iron Skin. Symbiote is helping out. Masquerade. Tried to go for the French defense, but he couldn't run away fast enough.
But he got the 4-man Q quest before he died. You know, when I get that, I call worth on that. That quest is extremely powerful. Now his Q does 80% slow no matter what.
And the top fort was taken down.
Yeah, that's huge.
You got the kill, congratulations, but Subdue is done, and the fort is lost.
Oh, Bloodlust?
Bloodlust being used, as usual. They try for the kill. The Quasar is baiting a lot of abilities here. Still alive. They have to cocoon. Hanzo also dead. I gotta say, Washed Up, they're getting their kills here. They're doing work.
Yeah, the double Genji on the Hanzo, just eviscerating him immediately. Really well done, and looks like that's definitely going to be their game plan throughout the game here.
It is that chaotic game that you've been talking about, but at this point, it is working out for Washed Up. They've taken the top fort down, passive experiences in their favor. They're a bit behind in kills, but at this point in time, it seems that every time they lose a hero, they're at least getting a counter kill for it. So this is something where Ammonite will have to think about, okay, how do we deal with this now? As you said, the double Genji is already proving to be a problem for the backline.
Yeah, absolutely. And usually you want to deal with this Abathur comp by deathballing as much as you can, so no one is isolated, but that's easier said than done. And it looks like Ammonite's... Oh,
that's the kill! And Nubarak is down. 7-sided even used. They went for the safe kill, dropping all the ults on him. And Nubarak is gone. Nicely done. Washed Up. They are looking for momentum here. They are looking to take the lead. The shrine activating in 10 seconds. Up at the top of the map. And how is Ammonite going to react to this? This is not really flowing the way that they wanted to.
Yeah, this is going to be hard for them. Like I mentioned before, they want to be deathballing here so that no one is by themselves. You can't be by yourself, Reset!
Oh! They go for the kill. And that is Hanzo dying to Nick. Nicely done. And already, Quasar up on the shrine, but a beautiful trap. This is honestly what we need to see from Washed Up.
Absolutely.
They're cool, calm, and collected. They're thinking their plays through. Occasionally it gets a little bit chaotic and they have to make the individual plays, but these are nice calls that are being made. And they're not focusing exclusively on team fights. They let them go for the top now, for the potential Punisher, as they claim, or start to claim, the fort at the bottom of the map.
Yeah, looks like they're okay with giving up this objective. They're just going to trade it for the fort on the bot side here. That's not a bad choice, but it is a little bit nerve-wracking here because the one play that Ammonite have here is deathballing, and there's no easier way for them to deathball than with the objective. So we'll have to see how much this push gets done.
And also they let the level 13 talent advantage go. It's a small window, but it was there. They could have tried to use it to force the fight at the top. They decided to stay at the bot lane. They got value. They went for the structure. And they are keeping Genji in the middle of the map.
Yeah.
With the help of Abathur, he can maybe get more damage done. And Abathur is now pushing the mid lane further out as Genji tries to join the rest of the team to help with the defense.
Yeah, and here's the death ball. I would like to see an Odin here early on. This is their best chance at getting some damage. Here we go. And the arrow whiffs.
Yeah. NA arrow completely missing. Didn't hit a single target. Yeah, they dodged it well. They were waiting for it. And they are easily defending this. Very nicely done. They're even chasing. They're going for the big chase, and there's the entomb. There's the play. The bunker. But Reset might fall, and he dies. They're looking for more kills. Can they get them? 7-sided strike is already being used. There's another stun from the Rulork is coming out. They're going for the Quasar. Leoric still alive. Everybody's trying to escape here. Another jet propulsion from Blaze, but he is low on
Double
Hanzo.
Genji on the chase here.
Go for the chase.
You can't run. There's two Genjis.
That should be another kill, especially with Masquerade coming in. They grab him and they take him. And that is kill number 2. Kill number 3. And Washed Up is chasing the Koreans down.
Oh, and that was an absolutely beautiful play by Washed Up yet again. As soon as the arrow goes down, Nick wants more. He's not done.
Nick is not done. No. He is not blood in the water. They are coming in. They've taken the lead in experience, in kills, in structures. 8-6, it's the first match point for Korea, and Washed Up is trying to make a statement. We are not done yet. We still believe. And this Abathur draft is working extremely well for them.
Yeah, and Abathur drafts are very deadly when they get ahead because you're faced with 2 losing choices. Oh, hold that thought.
Masquerade. Have you seen the Blessed Shield here? Still
Good
trying
plans.
to escape. They're following him.
Oh,
Big
Monka is in trouble here.
Yes, the Entomb, he could use it. Bunker's already up. Bunker's being used. There's the Entomb, they're trying to force it. Nick is saying hello, gets stunned, gets focused, and he tries to get out, but he gets murdered. And they're following it up with a second kill against Leoric. Washed Up. Are they trying for too much here?
Yeah, they absolutely are. That was just, yet again, just a slight overextension. The shield, but no one was near the Johanna, so no follow-up. And they managed to catch him, bring his Unstoppable down, and take a winning fight, even though they're down a talent here, because it was just too much of an overextension there.
They gotta make sure that they're not losing another player here. They can try and slow them down a little bit, but they have to make sure that they're not losing one more. They use the copy. Leo is coming back and they're trying for it. The Quasar gets attacked immediately, but Haza has the copy in and they're trying to slow them down around the fort as much as possible as the mid lane is still pushing. Hazu with the second Jojo is losing the copy. Tiz buying some time. Genji is back, he's on the move. There's the Entomb once again. They're trying for damage. 7-sided strike. They want to kill.
Genji's almost here.
Genji, Nick, he needs to come in for the damage. He wants Reset. He doesn't get him yet. He gets cocooned right away, but Hyde is also in trouble. They're trying to turn it once again, but the arrow's already out, and that's the kill against Kerosene. Rhaegar, Hanzo, both dead. What a slaughter. Leo dies. 4 down. Nick, he comes in, and he cleans house.
Oh, very nicely done there. Nick gets there at the nick of time, gets instantly webbed, but it's not enough. There is still more than enough fight in Washed Up to win that fight.
It started with Kerosene falling, but then Washed Up turned it around. Now they can focus on the objective. What a battle and what a third game between the two teams here.
Yeah, and once again, Washed Up find themselves in a very, very good position here. As I was mentioning earlier about Abathur, once you get ahead, you're in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, because when you're a talent tier up, you can either choose to fight them down a talent tier, or you can choose to split up and soak. But if you split up, you're splitting up into a Genji Abathur, and you're probably just going to get picked off. So this is a very strong situation, very strong position for Washed Up here. We just need to see them not overextend one more time.
They're slowing down the objective because they're hoping that they can get closer to level 20. If they can soak experience now, keep it at 39, and Ammonite isn't forcing their hands, then they can time it around them grabbing level 20 with a push and maybe even go for a core victory. So they're going to look to push out their top lane a bit, and they're going to wait for Ammonite to move towards the shrine and try and force their hand.
Yeah, this is a very smart play by Washed Up here. As long as they don't get caught before they get 20, this is a very deadly push when they reach it. I would like to see Ammonite try to force a fight here, because the longer they wait, the more certain they're going to lose this game. As soon as that 20 is hit, they're in for a world of trouble.
I'm really surprised that Ammonite didn't send somebody towards the shrine immediately to threaten it and just say like, hey, you take it now or we will contest it. But now, of course, it's way too late. 20 is going to hit, and any second now, Washed Up is going to move in and secure that last minion. Dequasa's already on his way. They need to make sure that nobody falls here. But this is the moment for them. The push through the bottom of the map with level 20 talents. They got the hive mind right now. They got, what's more important, the buried alive.
Yeah.
That is a massive, even with Blaze on the other side.
Yeah, this is going to be the push where Washed Up tries to end the game here. I expect them to play very aggressive. We'll look to see what kind of buried alive entomb that Dequaza can get.
Yeah, here comes the move. They're already posturing around the keep, waiting for the Punisher to come. It's a frozen Punisher too that makes it even worse here. This is the moment where Washed Up could take it. They're already starting to force them away from the keep. The bait into the middle is happening, but the Punisher is still fine, and this keep is going to fall. Slowly the Koreans are taking position. Root is ready. Seven-sided strike. They go for the kill on Spell. They're trying it. They can't. Nubarak is still alive, but the Punisher wants a piece of the action. Jumps in and Hyde goes down. They get the kill. They get the double. They're going for the triple. They're going for game 14 kills, 210. Washed Up is going for victory. Match point number 1 denied. Not happening. Ammonite is losing the game as the Europeans keep their hopes and dreams at the Heroes International alive. Nicely done. The core gets taken out, and that is a victory. Well played. Washed Up finally putting a point onto the scoreboard.
Yeah, such a dominant game there by Washed Up. They were not fazed by their 2 losses. They still played very well, played to their comp's strengths. And outside of maybe one fight, one bad play, they managed to pretty much dominate all the way.
I have to admit, I was pleasantly surprised by this, because when I walked past them and I quickly talked to them, they seemed pretty shaken by the results of Tomb of the Spider Queen. That's a map where they thought, okay, we got that win, and then it was snatched away from them. And they knew one more loss and they are out. And Nick himself said, yeah, bit tricky right now, bad position for us to be in, but that they were able to reset mentally this well and then come in and take such a decisive victory speaks for their mental prowess here. So can they do it again? They gotta do it 2 more times if they want to advance. So this is only the first step.
Oh yeah. Well, on the bright side, they've been winning a lot of the games that they've actually ended up losing. It's just 1 or 2 small missteps. They're just a little too over-aggressive, and then they throw like a 2-level lead, a 1-level lead. So as long as they can avoid just misstepping, you know, just over-aggressing a little too much, all of these games, they're actually doing quite well.
I mean, even here, it nearly happened. Masquerade gets caught, and he dies. Then they follow up with a push through the bot lane.
Yeah.
And of course, the defense on that fort was well executed by Washed Up. But if that backfires, if instead of them successfully defending and keeping the 2 heroes alive, they lose another one of them, we're talking about a staggered death that just like is a line that just goes through the entire game. The fort falls, maybe the keep falls, and then it's a completely different situation. So it was, again, a little bit close in that spot. So Washed Up, this time very successful. They get the point, they win the map, but they need to do it 2 more times if they really want to advance. We are in the loser's bracket now.
Yeah, and I'm happy that they won this game. This is our first not sweep of the tournament, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we finally have a match on our hands here, and hoping for a game 5 myself.
And the next map is, you might have guessed it already, of course, the Koreans chose to have first pick, first ban. And the Europeans, I talked about it earlier, they like to play on Tomb of the Spider Queen, but their favorite map is still Towers of Doom, and that is exactly what we're going to see next from Washed Up here. So at this point, players are ready. Both teams are eager to go into the next match because, again, washed up. They want to carry the momentum in. And I can only speculate that the Koreans are maybe a little bit angry here now and want revenge.
Oh yeah, everybody's ready right away. We're getting straight into game number 4 here.
Yeah, admins are ready and good to go too. So Towers of Doom is going to be the second match point for Korea. Again, they have the twos. Now it's a 2-1, but it's always a bit wild because right now you're still in this like, yeah, we got plenty, right? We got 2 match points coming. But if you lose this one too, and then it goes to game 5, all of a sudden you have so many doubts in the back of your head. Now, so this could change everything. But first, Europe has to go through this particular battle, and it's not going to be easy. Ammonite, they're going to be very, very eager to shut them down right now.
Yes, they are. And we're going to have to see if any adaptations are made in draft or if they're just going to keep banning the other regions' metas here. Really curious to see what Ammonite is going to do. Do they respect that avatar? Was it a big enough problem for them to change their bans and include it?
And it is made a lot worse for them because this is the map where initially Washed Up played him first. So they know that they would probably like, or would probably at least consider playing the hero on this map too. So is it really something that they feel they have to react to? Or is it just something where they are saying, yeah, we kind of misplayed it a little bit. If they pick it again, we're going to be ready for it and we're playing around it. So we'll see. For now, they are just more worried about Sergeant Hammer. Doesn't come really as a shock, so that's always a solid ban against Washed Up.
Yeah, and as Washed Up contemplates their first ban here, well, what they played last time worked for them, so kind of expecting maybe the Lucio Diablo to come out again here. If it works, don't need to fix it.
Yeah, Lucio gets banned. Not a surprise.
And there's the Abathur. This is what I do too. I ban Abathur every single game exactly because of what you just saw. It is very oppressive when played well.
Yeah, Hazu with his Abathur. I mean, honestly, part of me, it's not happening, but part of me just wants him to now bust out the Vikings, which we've seen from him in the past, of course, a lot. And a lot of teams respect it to an extent that whenever he picks it during a tournament, they start banning it for the rest of it because nobody wants to go up against that. But I don't think there's any way of that happening. But it's interesting that Washed Up is not just saying, you know what, take that Diablo. We don't really care.
Yeah.
We are more worried about Reset on Genji. And Reset on Genji is just such a monster, but last map, he didn't have him. Nick took it away. And this time they just said, okay, we got to ban him and give them Diablo.
Yeah, and I really wonder if the Vikings will come out. I really like what you said there because the first 2 games, actually, they went on Hasu a lot. Ammonite was focusing Hasu first every single fight, the first 2 fights, and Washed Up were really struggling with it. And then in that 3rd game, I believe he was Abathur, and they couldn't really focus anyone easily, and just like that, they took a game back. So TLV is one of those heroes, very hard to focus. Even when you get him, doesn't really matter. He's soaking everywhere.
I mean, the one advantage that they would have, I believe, against a team like Ammonite is that in Europe, a lot of teams either at some point played Vikings a little bit or at least faced off against them.
Yeah.
So everybody knows how to deal with a situation like this. I don't think that's a big thing in Korea right now. So that might be something where you could throw them a bit of a curveball if you're desperate enough for it. But if they now, after that victory on the 3rd map, have more confidence in their normal play style, they might just fall back to that. Both work. It's more so a question of, do you feel that you have to bust it out right now?
Yeah, maybe for the game 5 now with the Hawk of Brightwing coming in, there's no more chance for a Viking.
Yes.
Double Global, though, similar play style to a certain extent. They're going to be trying to play the map, trying to play the rotations.
Well, Fury gets banned, and we get also Tyrael eliminated. So that one, either targeting Masquerade or Nick, as we said before, it's not necessarily a main tank that they're worried about here. Nick has been playing this a lot. But how is Hazu going to react with Washed Up? What are they now grabbing? Muradin is something that especially Masquerade loves to play on this map. We've seen tons and tons of Muradin plays from him. And with a good stun and the follow-up from Brightwing and Dehaka, you have a lot of CC that you can execute here. But he goes for Janna this time, together with Hazu on Hanzo.
Yeah, these are some pretty solid safe picks here. Both teams very strong, honestly. The Hanzo can tech into Giant Killer at level 16 as well, which I suspect we might be seeing just to deal with the Diablo a little bit better. They have been struggling. Remember, they're currently 0-4 against Diablo in this tournament, I believe, with Washed Up. So they let it through in exchange for the Genji, but so far they have not proven that they can defeat Korea's first rotation Diablo.
Stukov and Greymane. Reset on Greymane. Honestly, doesn't really surprise me with Genji now gone. That was always in the cards for him. Nick has to react, and he needs to really be the X factor again. There's a lot of responsibility on his shoulders every time that Washed Up plays. This is no different, but of course the stakes are a lot higher here since we are at the offline event in Miami for the Heroes International.
Yeah, maybe a Cassia. I know he loves Tracer, but this looks like a terrible Tracer game. So, oh, Imperious. They're gonna fight fire with fire here.
Yeah, Imperious comes in together with Johanna and with the Haka. Lots of stun and potential isolation plays for them here, with Hazorps being the only range damage dealer from afar on Towers of Doom. Yeah, now or never. They made the first step. They took game 3. Can they take game number 4 and force the final map in this best of 5 series? Or are the Koreans shutting them down now and getting the victory, moving on to the next round of the tournament? We're going to find out on Towers. But the double global is definitely something that sets Washed Up apart right now. That is going to help them for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be their key. If I was this Imperious, I would be a little bit nervous about the last pick because they have so much CC. Remember, Imperious Spear, you CC yourself when you spear someone, so they can easily land all of their counter CC on you. So that is usually not a good situation. But the one situation where it's okay is if you have a numbers advantage from the globals. So the global play here will be key.
And we're going to find out if they can execute that properly. A game is starting up, and Masquerade pausing the game again. Washed Up maybe with a few issues here. What's going on there? But
yeah,
I have a suspicion who has an issue.
The Frenchman himself, perhaps.
Lost the robe. Nah, he still wears it. Might be something a little bit...
He's the only one without a headset, so I think you're right. I think you're right on the mark here.
Probably. It seems like it's the second Frenchman that has an issue right now.
Yeah.
No, but either way, it seems like this time it's a different problem. Seems to affect the entire team. Something with the sound. Seems like it's fixed already, so not really a big issue.
Yep.
The one thing, it's always nice when it happens right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah. There's always going to be some kind of technical difficulties during these big tournaments. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, the production.
Yeah, it's always, I mean, it's always better when it happens when nothing has gone on in the game yet. I mean, we're literally just waiting for every single hero to appear at the Nexus, so it's the best spot ever. We had multiple tournaments in the past where it happens in the deciding team fight, and that is never a good situation to be in. Big 3-2-3 moments.
Yeah.
So, yeah, right now we're all Gucci and good to go. And, yeah, ready to get the game started and see if Washed Up can move on to game 5, or if Ammonite just shrugs the last loss off and takes the victory here with a 3-1. So, Towers of Doom, here we go.
Here we go. Everyone is ready and back in the game.
And on the left side, we got Washed Up, currently playing with Hazorps on Hanzo, Nick on Imperious, Quasar is playing the Haka, Banana H on Brightwing, and Masquerade finds himself for the second time in a row on Johanna. Whereas on the right side of the map, it is Ammonite. The Koreans losing one map. They lost Infernal Shrines. Now here on Towers of Doom, they are hoping to decide the series. We have them with H82 on Blaze, Hyde on Stukov, Spell on Diablo, Heben on Sylvanas, and Reset. His Genji taken away is playing Greybane. And immediately the brawl in the middle.
Yeah, big team, big fight there, but no one will go down. Everyone goes to their respective lanes. And this Imperious pick honestly kind of reminds me of what we saw yesterday with the Ultralisk picking the Malthael. Imperious is going for that percent damage at level 1, so presumably trying to counter the Diablo with a percent damage melee in the 4-man.
And they have a strong front line with this. They also have a lot of CC, but you already talked a bit about it earlier, how we have a lot of that for Ammonite too, so it's going to be a bit of a control battle between the two teams. And talking about control, they're controlling Spell beautifully well at the front, and that might be the first kill of the game. Spell goes down, Diablo dead, and they find themselves instantly at the Pumpkin Camp and go for it.
Yeah, very well played by Washed Up there. They see the Diablo anchoring the bush. They see people mid and top. They know he's alone and just collapse on him instantly.
That's amazing right now. They got a kill, they got the camp, and they now can still take theirs. Or another
Sylvanas?
kill if they're able to close it. Yeah, reset, falling back here. High coming in with a bit of a slap as well. Korea looking for a counter kill, but Nick is able to get out of the fight.
Yeah, very well done by Haven there. Actually barely getting his passive on all 3 pumpkins, so no pumpkin went into a tower. There was no building damage. All they got was the experience from the camp itself.
They got the experience, exactly. They also took it, of course, away from Ammonite, so there was no push ever possible for the red team either. Top side, still Quasar against Blaze. Their own camp now taken at the bottom of the map allows them to push a bit more here, but definitely a good start for Washed Up. It's a bit more experience currently in the hands of Ammonite. That will be negated pretty soon when they move through the bot lane and also soak that top wave that you just saw. The Haka is waiting for that.
Yeah, that was a good try by Ammonite. They know they cannot fight bottom because the Haka will dig bottom if you fight bottom. So they try to go top for a 4-man game top. Oh, but Quasar already aware, playing very safe. He gets away.
Yeah, starting to push this down at the bottom of the map a little bit. Level 5 currently. Again, Sylvanas shutting down those pumpkins and making sure they're not doing too much damage here. Triple altar phase has been announced, so let's see what we're gonna get. The 2-1 trade traditionally on the altars to get those points off the core. I've only seen a single kill, but we already have a bit of a trap here in the bush as Masquerade is rotating down. Banana H finds himself on the lane alone. And Nick is also nearby, so everybody is starting to focus on that third altar. This is exactly what we usually see from the teams.
Yeah, it looks like the Hawk's already done capping though. Will Ammonite give this up? They're not. They want to fight. They're bringing Blaze down. They're going for the 5 versus 5.
Yeah, they're going for the fight here. Masquerade coming in with a shield glare. Here comes the 5v4 as Quasar moves in. But the rotation has already happened. Blaze is here as well, stun into the wall. And the Europeans are dropping a bit low here. They have to be careful.
Yeah.
Blaze with the channel attempt, but Hazu is still going to be able to poke for a long time here.
Yeah, Ammonite going for both the mid and bot wave push here, and they're going to try again shortly. It looks like another big fight breaking out soon.
Still the only kill against Diablo early in the game. Now level 7 talent advantage. Nice stun into the wall against Nick. Follow-up from Stukov. They want him, but they can't get him here. And Masquerade is going deep. Nick jumps out. Everybody's still battling around the altar, but the Koreans are starting to push a bit deeper. Spell maybe a little bit too far here. They're trying to punish him, but they can't. Quasar looking for the drag. Goes for Stukov. And it's a kill. Stukov gets taken down and dropped. And now Nick is looking for a follow-up.
Oh, and a huge spear on that Diablo spell. He might go down. He does. That's another 2 kills on the side of Washed Up. And the Imperious pick here is paying dividends. Just pick after pick after pick. He's really able to just continuously land spears on all of Ammonite.
That's 3 kills to 0, a half-level lead. They take the lead on core points too, and they're getting the camps. So there's a lot of map control that they're establishing, and they're hoping for Nick to get a stun connect over the wall, already assuming that there will be somebody defending.
Another spear!
They get another one! They go for Greymane, and it could be another kill. Greymane is low, he gets out, but Spell, body block for a second, gets condemned. And that minion got a little bit too cheeky apparently, because Diablo is punishing it hard.
Yeah, that was still a lot of damage though. That was a good chunk. It'll still put Washed Up a little bit ahead here. Greymane has a 2 recall, as Washed Up also takes a full recall for their entire 4-man lane here.
They're not too far ahead. The last few fights have gone well for them, and they are the ones to make the moves. But of course, the experience gain that they got out of this is really tiny. The 3 kills, they mattered. They got map control. They were able to steal some camps away, but they haven't taken a massive lead here yet. It's good to see, though, that they're willing to force these fights, look for the kills. And it's something that really shows Ammonite that Washed Up believes in taking this 4th map and forcing them into the final map of the series.
Yeah, and really good setup by Washed Up here. Double global, 1 top, 1 mid, soaking the lanes, and the rest of them bottom. So they will hit 10 first with 2 globals available here as Nick looks for his next spear.
Yeah, trying to escort the pumpkins in, and of course also the minion wave, see how much damage they can do. Yeah. Oh, they connect with a level 10. Can they get the kill? They're trying for it. Spell is low. Turnaround attempt, both with heroic abilities now. And here comes the barbecue as Diablo goes for lightning breath. Huge shove also from Hyde. Get the hell out of my team fight. Pushes him away. The altar is up and open. Interrupt should happen in a second, and Masquerade gets the shield glare through, but here comes Washed Up for the fight.
Big spear! 3-man! Oh, instantly broken by the silence. They're in trouble.
They try to go for it here with the bunker already down, so here comes the attempted play with another stun. Is the spear ready again? The drag against Blaze. He's in trouble. Blaze is low. Greymane dies. Blaze escapes, but Diablo gets dropped once again. Nicely done. A double kill for Hanzo. Well played. The altar channeled and the bell tower wide open at the bottom of the map as we are seeing the blue team trying to make a play and convert it over.
Yeah, and at this point, it's kind of looking like the mass melee composition of Ammonite is hurting them. They're clumping up so much. They got hit by 3 4-man Condemn, 3 4-man Johanna Q into a 3-man Spear. They're just getting wombo comboed by all of these AoEs on the side of Washed Up.
They haven't taken their pumpkin camp a single time in this game. Every time it was up, Washed Up is there and claims it. They converted the bell tower over. Another an arrow hitting. A fantastic European arrow here. Absolutely on point and on target.
European arrow has connected.
European arrow. Sometimes they're useless, but in this case, full hit. And they might get the pumpkins too. I think they're going to be shut down.
Oh my god, the 2-man spear.
The spear, the follow-up attempt. Can they get more damage in? They can't. The Haka isn't here either. But they always threaten Ammonite now.
Yeah, and even though they're not getting the kills, they brought Blaze over. That's 5 people, and they're trying to push down this bottom lane, which will never work for them. Looks like Ammonite has realized that, and they're choosing on another course.
It's so annoying when you're losing bot lane control. Not only do the pumpkins threaten your core directly, but this situation is also a total disaster. That bottom altar is so difficult to reach for Ammonite now because they just don't have any fallback option. They have to move through the top or through the bell tower, and that's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's why they're pushing so aggressively
the
for
Haka's
it.
coming in.
Oh,
the silence hits, the tongue hits.
He gets the ult, they're trying for another kill, and Amit is solo, jumps out, they cannot get the final few points.
Oh!
The kill!
The Kobe!
Oh my god! What an insane play by Hanzo. Holy hell, Hanzo, calm the fuck down. This is insane.
All right.
Got him.
That, I'll give it to you guys. EU arrows coming in hot today.
Yeah, that one was big. Absolutely big.
Yeah, this is snowballing very quickly. The HP on the side of Ammonite is dropping like a rock. After that last fight, they capped, I believe, 10 points just there. And there's more pumpkins marching down bot lane. And we are about to see if Washed Up has the... Oh, very good unstoppable by Masquerade.
6 kills to 0. Arrow after arrow hitting. You can't watch that one often enough, honestly. But the game is by no means over. It's a 1-level lead. We got 18 points on the core against 36. Another attempted play!
Oh.
And they are turning Heroes of the Storm into a farming simulator. This is Farmville, baby. The arrow thrown through the rest of the team, narrowly missing the target, but they still got Diablo. Isolation arrow confirmed. The pumpkins being pushed in now too. And it seems like Europe is going to dominate game number 4. But we've been here before, and I'm not trusting this until the core is gone.
That's true. I have seen this story before, but right now, Nick is on fire. He is just not missing any spears. He's not even missing any of his ultimates, just straight up.
It's honestly bonkers. I mean, they're dominating this so hard, and it feels that every time Ammonite is just poking the head out a little bit, Washed Up is playing Heroes of the Storm Whack-A-Mole. Get one kill after another. Now they're closing in on level 16. The Koreans haven't gotten a kill yet. They're still waiting for kill number 1 11 minutes in.
Yeah, they're just stuck bottom here, and this is the worst place to be on Towers of Doom. If the enemy has your bell tower and you're just stuck bashing your head in over and over.
And look at Dehaka. He's just pushing the lanes out. He's threatening top now too.
Oh, Spell's a little bit caught here.
Yeah, they go
There's
for
no
Diablo.
spear though.
Coming for him again. Quest is completed, but they're also trapping. Yes, they're trapping Blaze. They're getting the ult. They're getting the hit, and they're getting the kill. But Ammonite was at least able to get the bottom bell tower back. Blessed shield! The ult! ult. They go for Diablo again, and they take the kill.
Oh, Nick with the choke slam on the Diablo, and now it's a 3 versus 5. You can see Ammonite is getting desperate. They're just running back in. 4 versus 5, 3 versus 5. Nothing they've done this game has been working whatsoever, so they're trying to just take whatever fights they can get now, even if they're bad ones.
Kills against 0. A talent behind, 2 levels behind. Ammonite in trouble. Bottom bell tower. The focus of attention once again for Washed Up as they're trying to reclaim the position on the map. Tehaka at the top, continuing to do his thing here.
Yeah, the one saving grace for Ammonite here is they did eventually retake that bottom bell tower at the cost of several kills. But will it matter? They have perhaps one more chance to come back into this game once they reach the 16 talent tier. So we'll have to see how they can manage that fight when they get there. If they get there. Masquerade. Oh, beautiful
there is
shield.
Another hit. They're coming in again. They're going for Sylvanas, and they get her. Honestly, they are just getting kill after kill after kill.
Oh,
and
they're
here comes
diving.
the Haka. They're diving in again. They get the isolation on game, and the arrow hits hard. But Spell is trying to shut him down with an ult.
Oh.
Nicely done by him, but this battle isn't over. Nick with another ult, saving himself and putting Diablo into real trouble here. They're going for the drag, and it's stun after stun, CC chain after CC chain. The Koreans fighting back, and finally they get a kill.
Oh, Nick is in trouble. Spell lives. Uh-oh.
Nick is about to go down too, and there is the double kill for the Koreans. They try for the triplet, but they quas. What a chat. Comes in and at least gets 1 kill in this team fight.
Yeah, and that might not seem like much, but just that kill might be enough.
Yeah, so Nick at first goes down here. Brightwing was the first one to fall, and then it's Dequaza who at least realizes he has a chance to take down Diablo, and he claims the kill. Nicely done. The Koreans finally with a start. I mean, they're starting to get back into the game here with the 3 kills they got, but how much can they really get out of this? They want the remaining altar. They're already working for it.
Oh, really good stalls here.
Get interrupted for now. It's a 4 versus 3 on the map. Another interrupt is happening. Hazops is doing well, and they're realizing this is not going to happen against Hanzo.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, that kill by Dequaza, just that alone saves them this altar. Without one extra person, they didn't have the resources to completely zone for it.
These arrows are starting to get insane.
God.
Once again, they're coming in here. Can he get another one? Blaze has to use the bunker. Sylvanas used the arrow. That's 2 ults that were just used by them to stop this. Hazu gets the channel. Single digits on the core now. Reset pushing the bot lane. The game is getting a bit more chaotic, and Ammonite is starting to close the experience gap, but they are still far, far behind, especially in core points.
Yeah. Oh, Masquerade, he's looking for something. Oh, Spell?
We go again.
Oh, they got
for
Nick.
Nick, and they burn him to a crisp. Brightwing not ready to assist here, and Ammonite is gaining momentum. Ammonite wants to bring this back. This is what we warned about earlier. This is what happened on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Ammonite is gaining momentum. They want the kills, they want the hits, they want the bell towers, and they're converting the bottom of the map.
Yeah, and this game is starting to turn around a little bit here. Now in completely reverse position, Ammonite has taken the bottom bell tower of their opponents. But, oh, can H82 live from this 3-man gank? 4-man gank even.
Yeah, they want him. They're going to get him. There's no way he's going to get out of this one. He's buying some time,
Oh,
but
the rest of the team is collapsing. The rest of the team is almost there.
No way.
Oh!
No! Bullseye, baby. But can they save him? In comes the play for Banana H, but he survives. Masquerade, the blessed shield is there. Reset is low. And Imperius is back to business, trying to join the fun. What a clutch play there at the top once again. Level 20 soon going to be there. 25 to 9 points on the core with a double altar activating in 15.
Yeah, if they get both altars here and the boss, that is enough. We'll see if they go for it. So far, it looks so good. Ammonite just giving them the boss.
They kind of have to, but they also have to buy a lot of time. Blaze is down for another 20 seconds. This is a huge opportunity here for the blue team to force game 5. Hazel alive. What a barbecue
Reset's
play.
going in. He got him.
Reset. He gets him. That can't happen. This just can't happen.
It's still
Once
4 versus
again,
4.
they go for Greymane. Greymane trying to rip them apart. Reset. Dequaza's low.
Oh!
He's alive.
Oh,
He gets
Nick.
the drag, but Nick. Oh my god, Imperius is down, and it's Throw City on Towers of Doom as Washed Up is again falling into the trap.
Yeah, and it's just a little too greedy every time. Brightwing channeling their altar at the same time everyone else pushing forward towards Ammonite's altar there. Good play in theory, but Brightwing could not get the teleport in time to save the Hanzo.
Jesus. That was another 12 shots easily fired. We're down to 13-5. They're taking the bell tower here, but this is starting to be a bit of a disaster for Washed Up. They need to relax right now. They need to chill, get the 5-man back up on the map. They've been doing so much better in team fights, but they are starting to lose control of this game.
Yeah, the map is collapsing around them here. They're only going to have maybe one tower left at the end of all this. Oh, maybe they could save top just barely here. Oh, but they're going to lose bottom. Ammonite is rotating bottom, and they're going to get this bottom bell tower yet again if nothing is done.
Pumpkins are coming in. They got the 5-man. Back to business, though. Dehaka, top side. They're defending. Masquerade. He's trying his best to make sure that the bottom bell tower doesn't fall. It's a 5-3 situation in favor of Ammonite. So Washed Up needs 2. Man, this is getting way too close for comfort. This game is insane. Washed Up was miles ahead.
Yeah,
but it's always the same in the late game against the Koreans.
Yeah, oh, Masquerade kind of getting caught. No more unstoppable. Will they keep going? No, they do not. I have to, well, hold that thought. It looks like they're going to fight for this camp.
Yeah. Hanzo was in the mid lane doing some damage. Dehaka's at the top. He wants to pressure us out a bit too. Can always tunnel in here. Who gets the kill? The next kill might decide the game. The next team fight could very well decide all of this. How much momentum can you build up? How many bell towers can you get?
Blaze.
That drag, what a hit on Blaze. But can he get out? They're trying to body block him a little bit as the Haka's also moving away.
Oh,
the isolation hits.
off.
Bunker is up. And the ult from Diablo, the barbecue, but they're saving Nick.
Oh, the spear!
The drag Sylvanas. Sylvanas gets away, started to the corner.
Oh!
Haven survives. He barely makes it out, but he does. Nobody dying in the last battle. It's insanity as the mid lane bell tower gets reconverted.
Yeah, 9 ultimates down. Only Stukov has his ultimate as we...
This is getting crazy. How did nobody die there? Haven was so low. He pretty much had no hit points left, and then they also try to turn it.
Again.
Big hit. They want to go in again. Masquerade. It's a big shield player. Here comes the stun, the drag. Hyde, get the hell out of my team
the
fight.
Hellgate.
Nick is in trouble. Nick goes down. That's the kill. Ammonite, they get the kill, and that might have been the decisive one. How much can they get here? Can they take these bell towers back? Top and mid lane are both top and bot lane are both incredibly low and easily converted. There it is, a 5-3 lead, and Ammonite, they are attempting to capitalize on this.
Yeah, and this is just very well played on both sides. Just constant engages and counter engages. You see isolation hitting, bunker cleansing just in the nick of time. You see a spear hitting and an immediate silence follow-up to cancel the spear. Just constant back and forth. But Ammonite coming out a little bit on top on that fight.
Kudos to Ammonite, digging this deep and you're this far behind and then completely reversing the flow of the game is so difficult, but they pulled it off. They believed in themselves. They didn't give up. They fought for every single inch. Reconverting the bottom right bell tower was so difficult for them, but they pulled it off. 5 seconds for Imperius. Washed Up is resetting again. They are still in this. This is coming down to another fight.
Yeah, Blaze is actually top. Dehaka is about to get vision of him top. They might go for the 5v4 here.
Ooh. That
he was going for a shield bounce there. I respect that. He wanted the bounce on the Greymane. Didn't quite get it, but he would have been a god if he got it.
Yeah, a little bit too greedy there. Risking it, but now of course you gotta wait for another 40 seconds. Top might fall too now that the pumpkins have been taken. Big arrow, but also great play by Hyde.
Yeah, Blaze is on top, but they're unable to 5 versus 4 because his fort is just in the way.
6 spell towers to 2.
Oh boy.
Team fight. You gotta win the team fight.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Hides! If he hits him, he goes for Greymane. Hyde might be able to get out, and they're trying to go for the camp at the same time. The two of Altars are spawning soon, but the fight down here at the bottom of the map could decide the game. They're going for Diablo. The drag. This could be a kill. Hanzo dies. Diablo dies too. He's going to be back. Reset once another one. He's jumping in again. He's trying to get his support. Brightwing is dead, and they lose Johanna. The Koreans with a big plays, but what a move! And Greymane falls. This is insane. All of the bell towers here, the channels are happening. This is Sick City. Kill after kill. Only the Hakan Imperials are still alive as they're trying to prevent Washed Up from getting eliminated from this tournament.
It's mission impossible here. 2 versus 4. Nick and Dayquaza trying their best, but a single cap here. Well, both the caps will spell doom for them.
Oh god.
It's not looking so good.
No, it definitely isn't. 5 points still. He can't die. Nick, he's trying to get out here. Dayquaza still buying some time, attempting to channel on the right side. Hyde wants the kill against Imperius. Dayquaza! No! Dayquaza waddling away. 3 to 5 points on the core. The arrow! But
Nick is still alive!
Dead.
Nick is still alive!
Nick is still fighting. Brightwing coming in. Brightwing in. It's over. The channel happens. Washed Up is eliminated from the Heroes International as Ammonite makes the comeback happen, takes a 3-1 victory, and moves on to the next round of the tournament.
Yeah, that was a very crazy comeback. Just classic Towers of Doom comeback game yet again.
Holy shit.
That was crazy.
Incredible. Washed Up eliminated. Tomb of the Spider Queen, they had it.
Yeah.
Towers of Doom, they had it.
Yeah.
But Ammonite said nope. Came in and took both maps back.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the story of the tournament for Washed Up was just a little too overextended, a little bit too greedy. They actually had a match point 5 versus 4 there, but the Brightwing tried to cap their own altar instead of just walking with the team, forcing the 5 versus 4 on the enemy altar, and then forcing the 5 versus 4 again on your own altar. That would have been the safer play, but they went for the riskier one and just got barely punished, and then they were unable to end the game there.
Super impressive by Ammonite though. Coming back in both of the games that looked like they were lost was incredible. And they move on to the next round of the tournament. They said it yesterday that they were super unhappy losing against Bangbush. They said that they are much better in shape today, that they really want to show what they're made of, and they've definitely delivered.
Absolutely. This looks like a completely different team.
I mean, guys, we got a lot more action coming up for you. We got 2 more best-of-5 series today. Europe is down to the Bangbush at this point. Koreans, they still have 2 of their teams in. And 1 American team is going to be eliminated in the next match of the day. But one of them is going to advance. It's going to be Diamond Hands against 30K that we're going to see next. After a short break, we'll be back with another best-of-5 in the losers bracket.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.